I will play for you, sing for you, put my fingers on the strings for you. If you'll listen to the song that's in my heart, there are melodies, symphonies, pleasant dreams, if you please.
Hello and welcome to the Perry Connection. I'm your host, Jessie Barth. And tonight we have in our studio a very special musician known by many of you in the local Perry, Warsaw, Wyoming County area, and that would be Gary Murphree. Welcome, Gary.
Hi, Jessie. How are you?
I'm great. I'm so happy you're here.
I'm glad I'm here.
And we're going to talk a lot about music tonight.
Yes, we are.
Can you start out by telling the audience about your background?
Well, I've been doing music all my life. It's like almost 50 years now, which sounds very strange to say. It's very old, but for a long time, since I was 9. Mm-hmm. And there's always music around the house.
Can you tell me about that, about the music around the house? Because your family had quite a legacy of singing.
Yeah, none of them were musicians, but they loved to sing. My mother's side of the family, her sisters and brothers, my aunts and uncles, sang all the time at family get-togethers, and I'd hear all the old songs, and those became my genetic makeup, like a sponge. They just went
in.
And didn't come out too much later, those songs, and now I sing them all the time. Mm-hmm. But there was always music around the house. My parents had records of all different kinds of music.
Yeah.
Everything from Elvis to Glenn Miller to Johnny Cash and the Beatles. So I loved it all, and I still do.
Yes, you really were like a sponge.
Yeah.
And children are, and that's why it's so important to have music in their lives as children.
Absolutely. It's the same with my kids. Like my little boy, Scott, he's grown up. I remember bouncing him around to John Fogerty and Creedence, and he liked it real well. Quieted him down at night, so they've got good roots now.
Good. Now, you grew up in Avon?
Grew up in Avon.
Can you tell me about that and your music teacher?
Oh, sure. Mrs. Ingalls. Patricia Ingalls was she was my chorus teacher, and she was always very encouraging with me and my music all the way up through high school. And she would give me and my friends room to practice in her office when all the other teachers were kicking us out of hallways and
right.
Telling us to put the guitars away, and she'd lock us in there and let us practice. And she exposed me to jazz and classical music, and she wasn't prejudiced, because we were rock and rollers with long hair and patched jeans. She just knew we loved music.
Right. And she gave you your start, right, in 6th grade?
Well, I didn't meet Patricia until 7th grade.
Oh, okay.
My first performance was in 6th, playing an intermission for a school play. I got to play for, it was probably a couple hundred kids. And that was a big thrill, and I got the show business bug right away. And it just never stopped after that. Just kept going. Been playing ever since.
Yeah. Can you tell me why it is that you perform? Because I'm a musician too, and so I understand that, but I just think it would be interesting to discuss.
Sure, yeah.
What is it like from the inside out?
From the inside out?
Being a musician.
I've never done drugs of any kind.
Good.
But they tell me it feels really good, at least initially. And if getting high is good, well, that's what music does for me. It's a high, it's a buzz. It's when you connect with an audience in live performance and just hit a chord or a melody, and it's just like electricity between you and that audience. And there's an emotional exchange with complete strangers.
Yeah.
Or just if you just see the toes tapping. I play for senior citizens mostly now, and if I'm looking down at my guitar, I can see their feet. Mm-hmm. And if I see the toes tapping, I know it's okay.
Yeah.
I know I've got them. And if the toes aren't tapping, then we change songs. And we do one until I see the
You
toes
adjust.
Tapping. We adjust until we find that nerve.
Well, what when we were preparing for this interview, you were talking about the power of even just a melodic phrase, just a riff.
Sure.
Can you just play something that you use just to sort of connect?
when I do this song, by then I've already got them.
Are they weeping already?
They're already singing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all you got to do. It's just a little bit.
Yeah.
You don't need a band or anything.
And it's interesting because it's our culture. We all know that somewhere over the rainbow.
Yeah, it goes way back.
It makes us feel part of the whole, don't you think?
Absolutely. Pop music is sometimes looked down on as being frivolous or whatever, throwaway. Maybe that's its nature sometimes. But with really great classic songs, like Over the Rainbow, you've got a connection with somebody that's 1939 that came out. And now I'm in 2013, and I can pull that song out, and all of a sudden the years just fall away, and what they call the generation gap dissolves.
There's no gap.
There is no gap. All of a sudden you're back. They're back in that theater.
Well, I love it too because music really does help to eliminate the gaps, the differences,
It takes the barriers down.
Yeah.
It takes down the walls.
Yeah. I just wanted to show a CD that you made. You're a very prolific composer and
Keeps me
performer.
busy.
And this is Pop Goes the Music. Can you just talk about this? And you're talking about pop music and.
Yeah, that's like normally I play for senior citizens, and I get to play all kinds of music. But I want to play for a more diverse audience, families, kids, and stuff like that. And I know a lot about pop music. I love it, And I know that it goes way back, and it's good, and even stuff today, there's some good stuff. I want to show the connection between all the different kinds and styles of music, and the fact that, I often think in the old people shows that I do, they think, well, it's only good if it's old. If it's 1939, it's awesome, but if you do something new, we don't want to hear that. And I try to show those folks just by my song selection that, well, not necessarily. Rainbow is great, but I can do something by Michael Bublé or Johnny Cash or the Beatles, and it will be just as great and just as warming to the heart for them if I present it in a tasteful way, and let the song speak for itself. Let the quality come out without regard to how old you are.
Yeah.
Or
good. You just said something that I want to go with. How do you know when a song is good? What's the criteria for a good song?
It's all about the heart. You can get technical and say it's about a good melody or a hook.
Right.
Sometimes they think it's that, but I think it's the heart. It's Over the Rainbow, where troubles can't find me. Everybody wants something like that. Mm-hmm. And
they want to go there.
They want to go there with, and if you can take them there, all the better. But it's the heart, it's connection. It's just connecting with that commonality that we all have, that need inside. And music is just astonishing because it hits that, it connects with that in ways that just talking to somebody can't. You can do it, but music is just like an IV in the arm.
Well, and one thing I love about singing together, and I do sing-alongs, so we certainly speak so we speak the same language, is that you can have 100 people in a room talking, and you've got noise. You can have 100 people in a room humming Edelweiss by Rodgers and Hammerstein, and it is just pure magic.
I heard that on your CD. She has a real wonderful CD, by the way, folks. Edelweiss is on it, and I was almost crying. It's just a minute of it. But it was,
thank you.
It's so beautiful,
But that's, I think, the power of the harmony. And, it's so important. I think it's really healthy for us to sing, too.
Yeah, harmony is a multifaceted word. It's not just, there's four notes that are in harmony, but harmony is emotion, and harmony is math.
Can you explain that a little bit more?
Well, numbers that are in harmony add up.
Yeah.
And they give you a truth when you're done.
Yes.
They talk about elegant mathematical equations. The simpler and more direct you get to the answer, they call it elegant. So there's harmony in math. There's harmony in sharing of ideas.
Right.
There's harmony in this plant behind us. Yeah. The sun and photosynthesis that makes it grow, and there's a harmony between it and the rain. Harmony is in everything, and that's the way it's supposed to work. Anyway, when there's dissonance or discord, then things don't work well.
Yeah. Now, Gary, I know that you had a presence here in Perry playing, and some of our audience might remember you as children seeing you. Yeah. So can you talk about your presence here?
Yes, they'd be all grown up now. Back in 91, somewhere around about 3 years, I did children's music. In Perry, I had a band called the Kids Concert Band, and I had a blue van that said Kid Concert Band on the side. My neighbor, Clark Rice, I lived up Borden Avenue, just right next door here. Clark was my next door neighbor, and I have a snapshot. He came out with his camera, saw me painting the van,
fun.
and he took my picture. Hold your paintbrush up, So I've still got that picture that Clark took. He was a great guy.
Yes.
He was a good friend. And I did my first kids concert at the Perry Library here about 20 years ago.
And will you be doing one again?
I will not be doing kids music, but I'll be bringing pop music, the pop music show there in April.
Can you talk about that? Do you have a date?
I think it's April 18th. I hope I got that right since it's on film. I'm pretty sure, but it is in April. It's for National Library Week. That's your cue right there. And that's what I did the first time for the kids show. And it was wonderful, and it's going to be great to go back and see Peggy and the crew there and do something a little different, that I've moved on and doing different.
And will that be in the evening?
It'll be at 7 p.m.
Okay,
good. And it's open to the public. It's going to be probably upstairs where the fireplace is. It's going to be nice. I'm really looking forward to that one.
I'll have to put that on my calendar.
Yeah, you want to hear something I did when I was
I would love to.
This is the one everyone remembers. It's about not being able to go out and play. It's a gray and lumpy day. We can't go out to play. I wish the clouds would go away. And then everybody goes, it's a gray and lumpy day. That was my big hit. But people still remember it.
Yeah.
Those are good days. And now my kids are all
Well, now tell me, how many children do you have?
I have 3 of them. One's out in Colorado, one's in Washington, D.C. area, and my youngest is going to Peru for a year in a few weeks. So,
isn't it wonderful that?
Well, I don't have to feed them all anymore. I wish I could see them more often.
Yeah,
I do.
Understand. And your wife?
Yes, she's still home, and I think she's going to stick around a while. Yeah,
good.
Rob's an occupational therapist, and has to put up with all my noise, and she does.
Well, it's interesting. I'd like to just talk a little bit about that. From just having 2 meetings with you, I know you have to perform and sing and express what's inside you, or you just will dry up.
Just unravel.
Can you talk about that in case someone watching feels that way, or has someone in their family that is a creative person? Yeah,
that's a really good question. If you are a creative person and you've got that, I call it the spark. Mm-hmm. If you've got the spark, it's like a pilot light on a gas stove. It just doesn't go away. It's always burning, and it always wants to flame up bigger. And everything else in life, your job, even your marriage, anything, raking the lawn, is just getting in the way of it. I know it's not very responsible, but it's the way we are. Sorry, folks. And that's tough on people around you who maybe aren't that way. They see you as being impractical, flighty, a dreamer, basically. And we are. But I think that God gives you that. He puts the dreamer in you. He puts the spark in. I think we're made to be a great mathematician or an accountant, or maybe we're a great plumber or a car mechanic, or maybe you're a guitar player. It's all the same. The spark is a spark. But when you're creative, you feel like you have to write the song. You have to paint the painting. You have to write the book.
And so what do you do to that person?
Well, I think you should nurture them. Understand that they're kind of weird. And that's
and love them.
They can't help.
Love them and encourage them.
Please love us. Yes, please love us.
Well, I think we as a culture, as a country, as a universal entity, we need to especially protect our creative children and let them know that it is a gift, it is a spark, and that they need to pursue that, and we need to protect them. When I think of sparks like Michael Jackson and Whitney Houston and Mozart, and you could just go on and on and on, Judy Garland, who had an amazing gift but didn't quite know how to handle that. And could you just address that a little bit?
I agree with you.
We need
look
to
at people like a lot of those people is mismanagement. People like that should be surrounded with people who aren't going to take advantage of them. They should be protected, I think.
Yeah.
Actually, from people who will take advantage. We should nurture people, help them get the education that they need. If it's in music or the arts or something, definitely steer them in the direction of their gift, and don't force them into some career track that's totally the opposite. That's what happened to me in school. There wasn't a track for people like me. And so instead of going to, a music school, I went to art school because that was like the only thing they could think of. But if we nurture our children and nurture the arts in your community, support it, it's gonna help that grow in everybody. The appreciation will grow, and the harmony we talked about is going to grow in your town.
That's right.
Because people, let's face it, everybody's happy. You need more harmony, more happiness, and music and the arts. That brings it back up.
Yeah.
And it makes everybody healthier, I think, overall.
I agree.
It really does.
Can you sing another song for us?
I'd love to, actually. I'll do one I wrote. I love the old music. It's not all I sing, but this one came out. Actually, what happened was I was sitting on my front porch where I write songs in the summer, and we have these lovely peonies, these big pink flowers growing there. It was just past their time, and they were starting to kind of wither. And my wife had come out the day before and said, "Oh, gee, the peonies are starting to fade. Such a shame, they're so pretty, So the next morning I was sitting on the porch, and I saw those peonies still there, but starting to a little bit, just losing it a little bit. And I just said out loud, I said, well, flowers will fade, Oh, here we go. Instant song title. So I wrote one about my wife. Flowers will fade, the seasons will change. These are things that are constantly true. When the world spins around on its axis again, you'll find that I'm still loving you. The details get hazy, ambition turns lazy. I may fail at the things that I do, but the birds on the telephone wire are singing that I'm still in love with you. Who would have guessed that we'd be here today, considering all we've been through? When I open my eyes, it's such a surprise. You're still here with me, and I'm here with you. Days disappear, they fade into gray. We can't bring them back once they're through.
In my final remarks, I must make it clear, as all of our years fade from view, you will find that I'm still loving you. Flowers will fade.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Thank you. And what a gift for your wife.
She liked it okay.
Well, once again, you might not say all of that, but you can put it into a song.
Yeah, I can put things into a song a lot easier than I can in a conversation.
Well, and when you're not alone with that. I think a lot of people, couples have their favorite songs.
Mm-hmm. Sure, and I think that's one of the things I've noticed. Art doesn't have to be, you think art, he draws pictures, or art, he writes songs. I've got friends who are great car mechanics, and they know things under the hood of a car I can't possibly ever imagine understanding, and I don't even want to, but they're artists.
Right.
They do incredible things, and they are proud when they're done. Mm-hmm. They've been able to help you with their art. Mm-hmm. And I think that could be a plumber or, the guy who digs ditches, if they're good at what they do. Mm-hmm. And we should go out of our way to tell them so.
Yes. Well, and a couple of thoughts there. It's the art of being.
Being who you are.
Right.
What you were meant to be.
That's right.
I think that's so important. I think so many people aren't being what they meant to be.
And they want to be. And when they're not, they get mad.
They get mad and frustrated, and you don't understand why they have that edge.
Right.
It's because they're not exactly who they're meant to be. They're trying to be responsible or whatever it is, work the right job, make a certain amount of money. And that's okay. But, boy, if you don't nurture that part of you that's really you, really Jessie, really Gary, whoever it is, you're going to dry up, I think just fade out.
And isn't it fun that as you get older, you might have just a little bit more courage to really do that? You care less about what people think, and you do it?
I saw something online last night. It was a commercial. I don't even remember what it was for. But it was great, and it had all these clips of these people, like this lady who's 55, she just ran her first marathon, and somebody else did some other amazing thing. These are all like older folks, and they said an amazing thing. They said, not everyone peaks in their 20s. I was like, yes, tell it. Because it was true. It was beautiful. These people were doing great things at midlife or later.
Right.
And it's just our culture and the business of making money that says, if you haven't done it by the time you're 22, forget it. Just go back to, sweeping the streets.
So maybe we're all becoming more free.
I think you get more free if you realize that what the world is saying, they're saying it from self-interest.
Yeah, it ain't necessarily so.
It's not necessarily. Accentuate the positive. It's like that. It's not true.
Yeah.
The truth is what you feel inside.
Yeah.
And it makes you you. And you just got to find out what that is. Be honest with yourself. And find people who can do it. And find people who will nurture you and help you along. And if you can bring people joy doing it, wow.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And it's that giving. Now, we're going to have to wrap this up. I can't believe it.
Goes fast, don't it?
Yeah.
Well, I have a surprise.
Well, good. And but just before we do that, just quickly tell us what do you see yourself doing in the next
5 minutes? No, not the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, no, just with your career, because you've really committed to being a musician.
That's what I do now.
Yeah, and so
I think we talked about this maybe once before. I want to make as much magic as I can.
Oh, lovely.
And not in a witchcraft sense, all you conservative people. Magic in the good sense.
Yeah.
That there's magic to be made with music or whatever it is that you do. And that's what gives joy to people and builds people up and makes us happy. And if I can make the little moments of that magic with the rest of my life, I hope, that's what I want to do. As many as that I can every day.
In whatever format.
And whatever it is. It might be mowing the lawn for my wife. I don't know. But I want to make magic, either with somebody else's songs or my own, and just bring joy, I hope.
And Gary, someone seeing this interview, if they wanted to be in touch with you, how would they do that?
They could call me up.
You're in the phone book?
I'm not. I have cell, but they could
Okay.
actually, if they wanted to find out my information, probably the best way, I'm on Facebook, actually.
Okay, maybe we'll put that address on.
Yeah, they could find me there, and it talks about my music, and that would have my phone number and everything right there.
Great, because I'm sure people seeing this will want to be in touch with
I
you.
would like to make new friends. That would be good. Hello, friends. Call me. Yeah, it'd be great.
Okay, can you?
Well, I have a surprise in my little bag of tricks.
You do.
Gary's all about surprises. The trick is you have to sing it with me.
Oh,
Now I'm going to hear it the right way because Jess is going to help me out. Here we go. Getting to know you.
getting to know all
about you. Getting to like you. Getting to hope you like me.
And yes, I do.
Getting to know you. Putting it my way, but nicely. You're precisely my cup of tea. Getting to know you, getting to feel free and easy. When I am with you, getting to know what to say. Haven't you noticed? Suddenly I'm bright and breezy because of all the beautiful and new things I'm learning about you day by day. Day by day. And the big finish now. Day by day. Thank you, Jessie.
Thank you, Gary. Thanks, and thank you for joining.
The song that's in
See you next time.
heart. I can't explain just where it comes from. It's as natural as leaves on a tree. A full moon that shines on the ocean. A whisper that floats on the breeze. To me, we'll go.